I like to simply state that I do not understand the nature and cause of the action in regard of the elements of my personal jurisdiction.
All right. Are you entering a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I cannot answer a plea at the moment because I'm not sure what I'm going to be tried under. What jurisdiction am I going to be tried under?
Is there anyone watching who actually understands what sovereign citizens are trying to say? This guy seems to think that if he says the right words, the judge will just drop the case. But spoiler, that's not going to happen. He's asking things like, what law am I being charged under? But honestly, it doesn't make much sense to me that IT seems like they all follow the same script, and from what we've seen on this channel, it never really works. Usually, they either get shut down by the judge or held in contempt, and it doesn't end well. Sometimes they might get a retrial, but that's pretty rare.
In a moment, I'm going to ask how you wish to proceed in regards to a plea. Right now, do you have a plan in regards to an attorney? Are you hiring an attorney, asking the court to appoint, representing yourself?
Represent myself, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Curvin, you looks like you're 33 years old. So absent some other compelling reason, you'd be able to represent yourself. If you wish to, I'm going to ask what your plea is. If you wish to have a trial, if you wish to, I don't know if you qualify for a diversion, if you wish to try to get the case resolved either through counsel or yourself with the county attorney's office, any of those things, then your plea should be not guilty. If you choose to plead guilty, then we would proceed to sentencing. I would hear from both parties and a pronounced sentence. If you plead no contest, that is then if the state were to present what we refer to as a proffer, a person who's pleading no contest are not challenging the charge, but they're not pleading guilty per se. If there's a proffer that supports the facts that would result in a guilty verdict, then that person would be found guilty and we'd proceed to sentencing in the same manner as I described before. With those things in mind, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Are we on the record?
Yes.
Well, on the record before I make a plea, I like to simply state that I do not understand the nature and cause of the action in regard of the elements of my personal jurisdiction, the venue, and the nature cause of action until the prosecution has properly alleged them for me, and therefore I'm not able to enter a plea until then. I'd like to know if it's going to be if I'm going to be tried under common law, or is it going to be under maritime?
Is there anyone watching who actually understands what sovereign citizens are trying to say? This guy seems to think that if he says the right words, the judge will just drop the case. But spoiler, that's not going to happen. He's asking things like, what law am I being charged under? But honestly, it doesn't make much sense to me that IT seems like they all follow the same script, and from what we've seen on this channel, it never really works. Usually, they either get shut down by the judge or held in contempt, and it doesn't end well. Sometimes they might get a retrial, but that's pretty rare. What do you think about how he's doing in court so far? I don't think his arguments make much sense, but to be fair, he's been pretty respectful, so I'll give him that. All right, let's get back to it.
Can you speak up a little bit? It's difficult to hear you.
I got my headphones on. Did you hear what I said, or just what part did you need to
I heard part of what you said, so.
Okay. I was saying, for the record, I did not simply understand nature and cause of action brought against me with regards of the elements of our personal jurisdiction, and also the nature cause of action until the prosecution has let me know what they're going to try me underneath, so I can let you know what I'm going to make my plea. I'm not really sure if it's under common law or is it maritime law. So I can know how to defend myself, and then I can enter my plea.
All right. Have you filed a motion for discovery in this case?
I filed in my I put a special appearance and affidavit in about a week ago.
Well, there's something that's listed as correspondence in the court file. I'm looking at it now. It's not an official pleading. Neither does it state that you've requested information from the state that we refer to as discovery.
You didn't receive. I emailed. I actually faxed the. I faxed the special appearance. Did you receive it?
There's a document that looks like it is served or before a notary in Oklahoma that
Mm-hmm.
reflects what appears to be your signature. It says respondent beneficiary of the named defendant
That
in constitutional rights slash benefits.
it
Is
should be
that the
like a.
document you're referring to?
Yeah, I think is it just only one they went through? Because it's like 4 pages, 4 or 5, a few pages that went through, not just one.
There's a one-page document.
There's only one. It's supposed to be more. 'Cause I faxed the more over there. It was supposed to be like 4 pages.
It's one page.
Yeah,
Where it begins is at the top. It says the Supreme Court said in U.S. versus Mirsky.
yeah. I have a copy right here with me. I think you're just referring to the last page, and I sent like 4 pages of them. I think I got it notarized at the end of it, and I think the notary already sent the last page to you, but it was supposed to be 4 more pages to go with that. And that was the special appearance.
All right. Are you entering a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I cannot answer a plea at the moment because I'm not sure what I'm going to be tried under. What jurisdiction am I going to be tried under? I do not understand the nature of the cause of action brought up yesterday.
Well, I've explained what you're charged with.
Yes.
Um, I'm going to put you down as a plea of not guilty and set this matter for trial. If you wish to,
How do because I was my special appearance didn't make it. I need to resend it as well.
He's talking about filing something called a special appearance. For those who don't know, some sovereign citizens believe this can stop the court from having power over them. They think that if they don't fully accept the court's authority, the court can't charge them. It's like they believe using certain words can help them avoid legal trouble. But in reality, once you're in court, the court already has control over the case. Judges have heard this argument many times, and as far as I know, it's never worked. If anyone's seen it actually work, I'd be really surprised. Honestly, I don't get why people still try this. It just wastes time. But I have to admit, it's interesting to watch and talk about. Let's get back to it.
How can I reset it so I can have a chance to resend my special appearance because it didn't make it into. I guess you only had the last copy of it. There's more pages that you didn't receive. I need to enter that in beforehand. How can I reset it so I can do that? I have time to do that. I can do it today, and we can reset it for this same time next week if that's okay with you.
I'm going to go ahead and set this for trial. You can, if you have pretrial motions that you'd like to address, they need to be properly filed.
Okay.
Sometimes if people are representing themselves, they're still held to the same standard as an attorney would be.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes people don't have the experience to do that correctly. So there's an advantage to having an attorney. But I'm going to set aside 2 hours for bench trial.
I'd like to be tried by jury if that's okay. If I'm going to be separate trial, if it has to be separate trial,
Have you made a written request for trial by jury?
I have not. This is my first appearance today.
If you're seeking to have a jury trial, then you're going to need to file a written motion in that regard.
Okay.
Again, pursuant to Kansas law, there are restrictions in that regard. When we set a jury trial, I generally have a pretrial date that we have. You will be required to be here at Elk County to conduct that hearing. If you have pretrial motions that you're wishing to have heard, we typically would do that in advance at a pretrial. I'm going to set a pretrial date at this time. It'll give you an opportunity to place your written motion for request for jury trial.
Do you think he has any chance of winning his jury trial? He was caught driving without a license and is using the usual sovereign citizen arguments, which really isn't a strong defense. Personally, I don't think things will end well for him. He stayed pretty respectful in court, but the jury probably won't be impressed by someone who acts like the law doesn't apply to them. Driving without a license is illegal in all 50 states, and saying you're just traveling instead of driving doesn't change that. Since this is a jury trial, we probably won't see the full case, because those usually aren't posted online. That said, these kind of cases usually play out the same way. People think they've found a secret trick to get around the law, but it just leads to delays and confusion, with no real benefit. It's kind of like playing Monopoly, but refusing to follow the rules, thinking it'll change the outcome that he'll likely face the usual results, maybe a $1,000 fine or some probation. But what do you?